Darkness descends across the landscape. Ancient structures emerge from shadows. Forests stretch endlessly into the night. The sound of wind howls through empty corridors and abandoned chambers. These are the places where history bleeds into mystery, where the living fear to tread, and where countless souls are said to linger between worlds. Welcome to a journey through the most haunted locations on Earth. Places where paranormal activity has been documented for decades, where visitors have reported terrifying encounters, and where the line between the living and the dead appears dangerously thin. This is not a journey for the faint of heart. These are locations where you should never venture alone. We begin our dark expedition in the northeastern United States. In the small town of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the Jennie Wade House stands as a testament to one of the deadliest battles in American history. During the Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg raged for 3 days, leaving over 50,000 soldiers dead, wounded, or missing. Jennie Wade was a young woman who worked as a nurse during the battle, caring for wounded soldiers despite the constant danger. On July 3, 1863, while baking bread for soldiers, Jennie was struck and killed by a stray bullet. She was just 25 years old. Her life was cut short in an instant, her work unfinished, her love unrequited. Since her death, countless visitors to the Jennie Wade House have reported experiencing her presence. Apparitions of a young woman in Civil War-era clothing have been seen moving through the rooms. The smell of freshly baked bread has been reported in the kitchen, even when no baking is taking place. Disembodied voices have been heard calling out names. Cold spots manifest in certain areas of the house, where the temperature drops dramatically for no apparent reason. Visitors report feeling touched by unseen hands, pushed or shoved by invisible forces. Paranormal investigators have recorded electronic voice phenomena allegedly containing Jennie's voice, seemingly still performing her duties, still trying to help the wounded even in death. Our journey continues northward into the dense forests of Vermont, to a location known locally as the Hell's Peak Road. This remote forest road has become infamous for its paranormal activity. Visitors to the area report seeing ghostly figures emerging from the trees, apparitions of people who appear suddenly and then vanish without explanation. There have been reports of disembodied voices calling from the darkness of the forest. Cars have stalled inexplicably on the road. Some visitors have reported missing time, stopping on the road to ask for directions to a nearby town, only to discover hours have passed without explanation. Some have reported seeing what they believe to be interdimensional portals or UFO activity in the night sky above the forest. The history of Hell's Peak Road is murky and troubling. Local legends speak of Native American burial grounds in the forest, of spirits angry at the disturbance of their sacred lands. Others speak of old mining operations that went terribly wrong, resulting in deaths that were covered up. Still others reference reports of strange governmental experiments conducted in the isolated forest during the 20th century. Whatever the true origin of the phenomena, Hell's Peak Road has earned its reputation as a location of intense paranormal activity and a place where visitors are advised never to venture alone, especially after dark. The most famous haunting at the Stanley Hotel is that of Room 217, though some accounts place the activity in Room 237, another suite in the hotel. Guests and staff have reported seeing apparitions in the room, mysterious cold spots, objects moving on their own, and various other paranormal phenomena. The identity of the haunting spirit remains unclear, though some believe it to be the ghost of a maid who died in the room under unclear circumstances. Others suggest it might be the spirit of an earlier guest who met a tragic end within the hotel's walls. Our expedition now travels to one of the most desolate and foreboding locations on the American continent, the abandoned town of Sorrow, located in the depths of an unexplored cave system in the Ozark Mountains. Very few people have ventured to this location, and fewer still have ventured there more than once. The town was established in the 1800s as a mining settlement, with workers extracting valuable minerals from the caves. But the mining operation encountered unexpected difficulties. Workers began to disappear. Strange illnesses afflicted the mining teams. The miners reported hearing voices in the darkness, seeing apparitions of people who should not be in the mines, experiencing time distortions where hours would pass unnoticed. The mining operation was abandoned, and the town of Sorrow was left to decay. Those who have ventured into the caves in more recent times report experiencing severe anxiety and fear that seems to emanate from the stone itself. The air grows cold without explanation. Disembodied voices echo through the tunnels. Some visitors have reported being physically attacked by unseen forces, with scratches and bruises appearing on their bodies. The caves themselves seem to shift and change, with passages leading to impossible locations or looping back on themselves in ways that defy the known geography. Most paranormal investigators and casual explorers refuse to venture into the caves alone, and many refuse to venture there at all. Traveling across the Atlantic Ocean, we arrive at Pendle Hill in Lancashire, England, a location steeped in the darkest history of witchcraft persecution. In 1612, 12 people were executed as witches in the region, accused of practicing dark magic and causing the deaths of others through supernatural means. The trials that led to these executions were based on flimsy evidence, personal grudges, and the hysteria of the time. The accused were subjected to torture, intimidation, and false testimony. Several were hanged, while others died in prison under mysterious circumstances. Since these events, Pendle Hill has been associated with intense paranormal activity. Visitors to the area report seeing apparitions of people in period clothing, seemingly reenacting the events of the trials. Disembodied voices have been heard speaking words of desperation and pleas for mercy. Our journey continues to one of the most terrifying locations in all of Europe, the Paris Catacombs. Beneath the streets of Paris lies a network of tunnels and chambers created as limestone quarries dating back to the medieval period. In the late 1800s, when the cemeteries of Paris became overcrowded, the decision was made to relocate approximately 6 million human remains to the catacombs. The bones were arranged in intricate patterns and walls, creating a city of the dead beneath the city of the living. The catacombs stretch for miles, with approximately 200 miles of tunnels mapped, though many more remain unexplored. Visitors who have ventured into the catacombs have reported terrifying encounters. Some describe seeing shadowy figures moving among the bones, apparitions of people in medieval clothing, and ghostly processions of the dead. Others report hearing disembodied voices, screams, and the sound of footsteps echoing through empty passages. Many visitors have experienced severe anxiety, panic attacks, and a feeling of profound despair while in the catacombs. Some have reported becoming hopelessly lost despite carrying maps, with passages seemingly changing their configuration and leading to sections of the catacombs that do not appear on any official map. Moving eastward, we encounter another location of intense paranormal activity, the Tower of London in England. This ancient fortress has stood for nearly 1,000 years and has served many purposes throughout its long history. It has been a royal residence, a prison, and a place of execution. Countless people have died within its walls, including famous historical figures such as Anne Boleyn and Lady Jane Grey. The Tower of London is perhaps the most haunted building in all of Britain. The ghosts of the Tower of London are said to be legion. The White Lady, believed to be Anne Boleyn, has been reported walking the corridors where she was imprisoned before her execution. She appears dressed in white, sometimes carrying her own severed head. The ghost of Lady Jane Grey, executed at just 16 years old, has been reported weeping in the tower where she was held. Other apparitions include the spirits of executed prisoners, guards, and various royal residents who met tragic ends within the fortress walls. Witnesses have reported seeing full-bodied apparitions, experiencing sudden temperature drops, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling the sensation of unseen hands pushing or touching them. Our expedition now travels to the United States to explore one of the most terrifying abandoned hospitals ever constructed, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium located in Louisville, Kentucky, built in 1910, The sanatorium was designed to treat patients with tuberculosis, a disease that was epidemic during that era. At its peak, Waverly Hills housed nearly 700 patients, all suffering from the disease, many in the final stages of their illness. The sanatorium had a death rate that was among the highest of any medical facility in the nation. It is estimated that over 100,000 people died within its walls over the course of its operation. The Waverly Hills Sanatorium closed in 1961, and the massive building has been abandoned ever since. It is a sprawling structure, 4 stories tall, filled with empty rooms, abandoned medical equipment, and the remnants of a century of human suffering. Paranormal investigators who have explored the facility report intense activity. Apparitions of patients in hospital gowns have been seen in the corridors. Disembodied voices have been heard crying out in pain and desperation. Objects move inexplicably. Equipment that has been non-functional for decades suddenly activates on its own. The building itself seems alive with a malevolent presence. Visitors to Waverly Hills report experiencing sudden, overwhelming feelings of sadness and despair. Some have reported being physically attacked, with scratches and bruises appearing on their bodies. Others have reported the sensation of being touched by ice-cold hands. The most disturbing reports involve visitors who have experienced visions of the building during its operational days, seeing patients lying in beds, medical personnel moving through the corridors, and reenactments of medical procedures. Some visitors have reported becoming disoriented and lost in the building despite its well-documented layout, with hallways leading to sections that should not exist, according to the building's blueprints. Moving to Japan, we explore one of the most actively haunted locations in Asia, the Aokigahara Forest, known internationally as the Suicide Forest. Located at the base of Mount Fuji, this dense forest has become infamous as a location where over 25,000 people have taken their own lives over the past several decades. The forest is vast, covering nearly 14,000 acres of densely packed trees where it is easy to become hopelessly lost. Visitors to Aokigahara Forest report overwhelming feelings of despair and suicidal ideation, even those who have no history of depression or suicidal thoughts. People report hearing disembodied voices calling them deeper into the forest. Apparitions of people in various stages of distress have been seen among the trees. Some visitors report being unable to control their own movement, finding themselves drawn deeper and deeper into the forest against their will. Paranormal investigators working in the forest have reported severe equipment malfunctions and an oppressive atmosphere so intense that experienced professionals have abandoned their investigations and fled the location. The Aokigahara Forest represents a concentration of human suffering and anguish unlike almost any other location on Earth. Whether one believes in the supernatural or not, the psychological and emotional weight of the location is undeniable and overwhelming. Our journey continues to one of the most infamous hotels in the world, the Overlook Hotel, the real-life inspiration for Stephen King's novel. The actual hotel that inspired the book is the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, which we discussed earlier, but there is another location of comparable notoriety, the Elton Inn of San Diego. This hotel has been the site of numerous deaths, suicides, and mysterious disappearances. Guests have reported seeing apparitions, hearing disembodied voices, and experiencing inexplicable phenomena. In more recent times, we must also consider more contemporary haunted locations, including Pripyat, the abandoned city near Chernobyl in Ukraine. The city was evacuated in 1986 following the nuclear disaster, and it remains largely abandoned to this day. Those who have ventured into Pripyat report experiencing extreme dread, seeing apparitions of people who appear to be in severe radiation sickness, and encountering technology that operates despite having no power source. The entire city seems to be caught in a moment in time, with possessions left behind, vehicles frozen in their last positions, and the pervasive sense that the residents have not truly left, but remain as ghosts, trapped in their final moments.